Ladies and gentlemen, picture this. It's 2 a.m. You're deep in a YouTube rabbit hole, searching for the meaning of life, love, and why your last date didn't text back. Suddenly, a video title hits you like a lightning bolt. Women do not want you to find this video. It's practically begging you to click. So you do, and there he is. Arthur Schopenhauer, a 19th century German philosopher with hair like a mad scientist and ideas that make your head spin. Pause for laughter. Now I know what you're thinking. A philosopher? At 2 a.m.? Really? But stick with me, because Schopenhauer's got a wild theory about love that might just change how you see that flutter in your chest. He says love isn't just roses and rom-coms, it's a cosmic prank played by biology. Today we're diving into his world, and I promise it'll be a ride that's equal parts mind-blowing, uncomfortable, and yes, fun. So, grab your metaphorical popcorn, and let's get started. Let's set the scene. You're at a crossroads in life. Maybe you're swiping left on Tinder for the 1000th time, or you're replaying that awkward date where you rambled about your obsession with artisanal pickles. Chuckle. Been there, done that. We're all out here chasing love, connection, or at least a decent coffee date, only to end up tangled in a web of, what did I do wrong? That's where Schopenhauer struts in, like a grumpy uncle who's seen every rom-com and called them all lies. His big idea? Love isn't about soulmates or destiny. It's a biological strategy, a sneaky trick by nature to keep the human species chugging along. Not exactly the stuff of Valentine's Day cards, but hear me out, because this idea has roots that go way deeper than a bad date. First, let's meet Schopenhauer. Born in 1788, this guy was the king of pessimism. While his contemporary, the poet Lord Byron, was gallivanting across Europe, breaking hearts with lines like, "She walks in beauty like the night," Schopenhauer was holed up in his study, muttering, "Love? Poof, that's just your DNA playing matchmaker." Laughter. These two were like oil and water. Byron's all romance, Schopenhauer's all reality check. But Schopenhauer wasn't alone in his skepticism. He was part of a vibrant 19th century intellectual scene, trading ideas with thinkers who dared to poke holes in the fairy tale of love. Take Søren Kierkegaard, a Danish philosopher just a short boat ride away. Kierkegaard was wrestling with love too, but in a more existential way, asking, can we ever truly know the person we love? Both these guys were saying, love's not just a feeling, it's a riddle. And that riddle's been stumping us for centuries. So, what's Schopenhauer's take on this riddle? He says when you fall head over heels, it's not because you found the one. It's because your biology is yelling, hey, make babies, keep the species alive. He calls this the will to life, a primal force that drives us, whether we're swiping on apps or writing love letters. Now, I can see some of you rolling your eyes, thinking, that's so cynical. But hold on, Schopenhauer's not saying love isn't real or beautiful. He's just pulling back the curtain to reveal the machinery behind it. Think about it. Why do we get butterflies when we see someone cute? Why do we obsess over their smile or the way they flip their hair? It's not just poetry, it's evolution. And Schopenhauer's not the only one who saw this. Jump to the 20th century, and Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, picks up the baton. Freud's all about unconscious drives, saying our desires are shaped by forces we barely understand. Schopenhauer and Freud, separated by decades, but linked by this truth. Love's got a hidden agenda. Let's get personal for a second. Have you ever been so in love you couldn't function? Like you're doodling their name in your notebook, forgetting to eat, and accidentally calling your boss babe? Smile. True story. I once spent an entire week replaying a single text message from a crush, analyzing it like it was the Rosetta Stone. Laughter. It felt like the universe was orchestrating our love story. But Schopenhauer would have tapped me on the shoulder and said, buddy, that's just your brain doing its job. He argues we're drawn to people who complement us biologically. Think symmetry, health, traits that scream good genes. It's why you might fall for someone who's totally not your type. Ever had friends stare at your new partner and go, "What are you thinking?" Laughter. That's the will to life at work. It's not random, it's calculated, even if you're clueless about it. Here's a quick detour. A few years ago, I was at a friend's wedding, watching the couple dance under fairy lights. Everyone was teary-eyed, toasting to eternal love. But in the back of my mind, I couldn't help but wonder, is this magic, or is Schopenhauer right? Are we all just puppets of biology? That moment stuck with me because it's the tension we all feel, wanting to believe in fairy tales but sensing there's more to the story. And Schopenhauer's story isn't just about biology, it's about how men and women navigate love differently. Fair warning, his views on gender are, well, let's just say they wouldn't fly on X today. Laughter. He thought women were wired to nurture, men to strive, and these roles shaped our romantic dance. Dated? Absolutely. But his core idea, that love is driven by deeper forces, still sparks debate. And he wasn't alone in this debate. Across the English Channel, Mary Wollstonecraft, the feminist pioneer, was penning a vindication of the rights of woman, arguing for women's equality. While Schopenhauer was dissecting love's biological roots, Wollstonecraft was saying, "Give women a voice and let them define love too." Two thinkers, same era, both grappling with connection in a complex world. Now let's bring this into 2025. Dating apps, ghosting, the endless quest for the one. It's a jungle out there. Schopenhauer would probably take one look at Bumble and say, "Told you so, it's all biology." Laughter. But here's the game changer. Knowing this doesn't have to ruin love. It can liberate us. If we see our hearts being tugged by ancient instincts, we can pause and make better choices. Maybe you don't drunk text your ex at 3 a.m. Maybe you rethink why you're drawn to that bad boy vibe. Wink, Schopenhauer's not here to rain on your parade. He's here to hand you an umbrella so you can navigate the storm. And pop culture backs this up. Think about shows like Love is Blind, where people fall for each other without seeing faces. It's like Schopenhauer's will to life meets reality TV, attraction stripped to its rawest form, yet still so human. Let's zoom out and connect this to another titan of thought, Charles Darwin. Born just a few years after Schopenhauer's major works, Darwin took the idea of biological drives to new heights with his theory of natural selection. It's like Schopenhauer's will to life got a PhD in biology. Darwin showed us that every species, including ours, is shaped by the need to survive and reproduce. That spark on a first date? That's the same evolutionary dance that's been going on for millennia. Schopenhauer and Darwin, two minds from the same era, both pointing to a truth. We're animals, driven by forces bigger than us. But here's the magic. We're also humans, capable of reflecting on those forces and choosing our steps. And speaking of reflection, let's tip our hats to another voice from the 19th century. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the American transcendentalist. While Schopenhauer was brooding in Germany, Emerson was across the Atlantic, preaching self-reliance and the power of the individual. Emerson believed we could rise above our instincts by trusting our inner wisdom. It's like he's the optimistic cousin to Schopenhauer's pessimism, saying, sure, biology's got a grip, but you've got a mind to steer the ship. These thinkers, all circling the same questions about human nature, remind us that love is both a force and a choice. So, what do we do with Schopenhauer's big idea? Do we throw up our hands and say, love's a scam, let's all move to a cabin in the woods? Laughter. Not a chance. Schopenhauer's not telling us to ditch love. He's urging us to see it clearly. And he's got company. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke, a generation later, wrote about love as a journey of self-discovery, not a fairy tale. Modern thinkers like Esther Perel, who dives into the tension between desire and security, echo this too. Schopenhauer, Rilke, Perel, they're all saying, love is messy, complex, and worth it. As we close, I want to leave you with a question. What if the truth about love isn't a dead end, but a starting line? What if knowing its roots, biological, psychological, philosophical, makes us better at it? Schopenhauer's not here to torch your rom-com dreams. He's here to challenge you to love smarter, question your instincts, and find meaning in the chaos. So, next time you're swiping on an app, staring into someone's eyes, or even dancing at a wedding under fairy lights, ask yourself, is this my heart talking or my DNA? And more importantly, what do I want to do about it? Pause. The answer's yours to write, and that's the real adventure. Thank you.